everybody, and welcome to MangaPod. Woo! I am Erin of HappiLeeErin, your host. MangaPod is a weekly podcast when we shall all get together after we read all our part of a manga, and then we discuss it with friendship, love, and lots of spoilers. I switched that up a little bit just to keep you guys on your feet, because that's what I like to do. But once again, I'm Erin of HappiLeeErin, your host, and with me are two of my three lovely co-hosts. Once again, Yokurama is still on a hiatus with family stuff, but we have a lovely guest here joining us tonight who will introduce himself in just a moment. But let's do our whole introductions real quick.
Hi, I'm Dodger. And that's it. I'm delighted to be here. I'm wearing a sweater that says Dick Butts tonight, so you know that I'm ready to talk about basketball.
Oh my god, that's like such a perfect sweater.
Damn it, Dodger, it's always impossible to top you. My name's Lou from Sitting by the Window Anime Reviews, and I'm frustrated now.
And our lovely guest.
I don't think it's very fair, since I don't get to show you my lovely face. I'm sorry about that, but you can look at my OTP, because that's all that matters. Almin and Kisei. I'm Glen. I talk about anime sometimes on YouTube. But other than that, I was brought on because Erin and me share a very, very common thing when it comes to Kuroko, and it's OTPs.
It's our OTPs. That's what our first Skype conversation was about.
I think that's been every Skype conversation.
I added you and I was like, "You ship my ships, dude," or something like that. It was perfect.
Do you want to be best fucking friends? Because I
do. Hang on, let's go around circle. OTPs, Kuroko OTPs, go.
Oh no.
Oh, come on, you gotta know this.
Well, I want to believe. Okay, I was. Erin and I were talking at length today.
We were.
Yeah, I want to believe so badly that Hanamiya really just wants to bang Teppei real bad, and that's why he's so mean. So, does that count as an OTP?
Yes!
I think so. You have a head cannon and everything.
Yeah, it makes it so much better. He's just he creeps around him all the time. He just watches him, and he's like, "I've been watching you, dog. I love you. I love you so much. Give me that sweet D." And everybody else is like, "What?" Anyway, so there.
I broke your
my
knees.
OTP.
I broke
That's
your
very
knees so you couldn't run
applicable to
away.
Yeah. It's the ultimate yandere. The ultimate Kuroko yandere.
With tsundere with yandere tendencies. Yep.
That's
So
magical.
keep that in mind when we get into the spoiler section, everybody.
All right, I want to go next. Mine is Kuroko with balls, all of the balls.
I was
of
waited
the
with
balls.
bated breath to find out who you were gonna say because
So
I was
excited.
All of the balls.
all of the
balls.
Kuroko.
All of the balls. All
The
of
way
the
he smacks them around, you know he loves them.
Yeah.
Mine's pretty standard. Just Kisei and Alamine. They're my favorite.
They're so good.
Doing this.
They're perfect for each other. Alamine's like, "Oh, you can't top me," but Kisei's like, "But I can." And then Alamine realizes that, and he's like, "I accept you." And then it's just, they're perfect.
That's just too magical.
Oh my god, that was so
I
good.
adore it. It is good.
Mine's pretty standard tune. Mine is Kagami and Kuroko. That's my OTP.
Yeah.
I got a lot of them though. Kuroko and Basuke is just the ship. It's just a ship of ships.
God, sports anime and sports manga, it's just so much extended eye contact between everybody, and you're like, you could bone and I'd be cool with it.
It's like, oh, you could bone.
Like those two characters, they stood next
or you
to
could
each
bone.
Or, they could all bone at the same time together and it'd be fine.
Team on
boning.
team, right?
Team boning.
Team v team.
other end to Kuroko no Basket.
If you haven't guessed, we read Kuroko no Basuke this week. If you've never joined us for a MangaPod before, what we like to do, we don't usually do that, but I'm happy that we did. We like to give you a short spoiler-free description, aka summary, which will be read by our lovely guest Glen, and then we'll give you our spoiler-free recommendations, whether we believe you should go spend time reading this manga or not, for those of you who have not read it. That way you know whether to leave before we get to the spoiler section. And I'm going to say a little spoiler alert right now. This is the third time we're reading this, so we're probably all going to be like, hey, you should go and read it, and stuff like that. But that's just me saying that. But yes, so, Glenn, if you don't mind giving us our summary.
As long as you're just prepared for all the mispronunciations.
Oh,
So ready.
I'm ready.
Oh,
I'm
all right.
excited.
Teikai Middle School Basketball Club, an incredibly strong team with over 100 members and 3 consecutive championship wins. Amongst their brilliant record was a generation of 5 prodigies known as the Generation of Miracles. However, there was a strange rumor concerning the Generation of Miracles about one player recognized by the 5 prodigies, a Phantom 6 man, also known as Best Boy. When Kagami Taiga joins Seren's High School's basketball club, he meets Kuroko Tetsuya, a horrendously bad player. Kagami is shocked to find out that Kuroko is really cute and is the rumored 6th man of the Generation of Miracles. Not only is Kuroko terrible at everything from dribbling to shooting, he lacks so much presence on the court that at times people even forget he's playing, but during games, Kuroko uses that lack of presence to his advantage, specializing in passing the ball to stronger players. In order to become the best player in Japan, Kagami agrees to team up with Kuroko and defeat the other members of the Generation of Miracles, and that's a mouthful.
Yay! You
Just
added
like what
your
Kuroko
ad
has.
libs in there so fluidly. I thought they were actually part of the summary. I was like, wow, I didn't know they put
They
that in
deserve to be. That's why.
there. It was perfect. Awesome. Let's give our spoiler-free recommendations, whether we think people should spend time going to read this manga or not. Anybody want to go first?
It's the best sports manga ever, and you should probably read it.
It's aight.
There's mine.
It's
mine.
okay.
Go read it if you haven't read it. Go read
It's okay. It's okay out of 10.
It's a 10 out of 10.
The characters
Oh,
are great. Everybody's got like flashy abilities. They got good hair. They got good personalities. They all mesh. It's about teams and friendship and love and all that shit. And it's fucking awesome. And you should read it.
I was
I
like,
take
feel
that
like,
recommendation.
I know. I was like, I feel like I don't even go. But yeah, this is my favorite manga of all time, so I'm gonna have to recommend it because especially this part, which is without spoilers, contains all of the stuff that embodies why I love Kuroko no Basuke so much and what makes it an absolutely fantastic sports manga and an absolutely fantastic story in general. So I love the manga and I also just love this part in general. So I would say read it.
I guess I'll go. I recommend it. It's I think it's a good start for people who aren't really, into sports, anime, and manga yet. It's the story's kind of standard, but the characters kind of take it to another levels, and it's really tense. It's great. Recommend it. It's about basketball and boys.
If you like those.
I absolutely love it. I think it's a brilliant manga. I haven't read it before. I had wanted to save it till after the anime finished airing, like all of it. But it is what it is. I read all 117 chapters within a very short amount of time, and it was very easy to do that. So I highly recommend it. It's wonderful, and it gets progressively better with each chapter. So I'm looking forward to where it's going.
Yeah. Woo-hoo.
I'm fighting with people
I was
in
just
chat
gonna
over.
say, I just wanted to point out that right now, Brooke in chat is starting a war over whether Slam Dunk or Kuroko no Basuke is better.
All right.
People are getting all over my shit for saying that it's the best sports manga. They're like, I can name so many that are way better. And then somebody said, have you guys ever read Slam Dunk? And I was like, yeah, and it's not as good. And now everybody's like, oh! Like, fucking losing it. Anyways.
Slam Dunk. It didn't slam it.
It didn't
Kuroko,
slam.
Kuroko did. There's the recommendation.
Boom.
Kuroko welcomed you to the jam with open arms. So,
Yes.
come on and slam.
Kuroko no Basuke is basically Space Jam.
I mean, honestly,
Just with prettier
Space
boys.
Yeah. Just
everyone
take out all the
knows-
cartoon characters and replace them with hot boys. And then it's Slam Dunk. Same.
I'm surprised nobody's argued that Rokyo Boo is the best basketball anime and manga yet.
What's...
Oh, you guys don't.
Oh
Never
no!
mind.
Wait, I need
Never
to know.
We are all plebs before Glen.
Yeah, no kidding.
Rokyo Boo's just little girls playing basketball.
Oh, my
Oh
God.
wait, I totally. Is that one that has like? Is there a GIF of that? That's really popular.
I'm sure there is, because the show's pretty special.
All I'm finding are furry pictures. I don't think I searched for the right.
Oh, really quick. If everybody in chat could support the movement that we started, it's called #Kidneys for Kuroko, where we have all decided to raise as many kidneys as possible to give them to Shonen Jump in hopes that they will license Kuroko to us. So if you can just go to Twitter and use the hashtag Kidneys for Kuroko. If you don't have a Twitter, make one and use the hashtag Kidneys for Kuroko, because this is very important to us. Just so
Also, call your doctor.
Yes, make an appointment.
Set up an appointment.
Immediate reason. It just says hashtag Kidneys for Kuroko.
Oh my god,
They'll
how
understand.
fucking horrified would they be if they walked into their office and there were just a bunch of different, transferable ice packs that just had like kidneys inside and said, please license Kuroko no Basuke. Just like, what the fuck?
What if it turned out that like the CEO of Viz like desperately needed a kidney transplant, and he was like, "You know what? We save his life," and he's like, "I'll do it."
No matter how much money it takes, I'll do it.
I want that to be canon now. I want that to be what happens. But yeah, here, let's jump into spoilers. Oh, really quick though. This is for all of you who if you do not want to be spoiled, we're going to jump into all of the spoilers, so you can take your leave now, go read the manga, and then come back and watch the VOD of this right here. It usually goes up immediately after we are finished. And also no spoilers for anything past what we read, which is chapter 117, which all of us, I believe, we might use spoiler fingers because I think all of us know what happens at the cliffhanger that we left afterwards.
I hated you so much for stopping there.
But for the sake of chat and anybody who might be watching and doesn't want to be spoiled past that point, we'll be using spoiler fingers, but also nothing past that or in the anime that was not what we read. So, spoiler section. 4, 3, 2, 1. Kuroko's gone.
Yeah.
I was super sad when Kuroko died.
God, guys,
that's why we're
remember when
donating our kidneys.
everyone died?
Saved him.
It was super sad when just all our OTPs died.
Kuroko became a real phantom.
Oh God,
No.
I got too dark. Too dark.
So
Did
real.
I take it too far? Sorry, guys. Oh man, I don't even know where to start because we've done two of these Kuroko ones.
Sure.
But let's start, usually we start with Yalu. Help.
Sorry.
Help me. No, help me.
For there are some people in the chat that are asking where exactly it stopped.
Oh.
It's right at the very beginning of the second Serengane versus
Toho
Rizalmine.
versus... Yeah.
I thought it was when Kuroko was on his deathbed.
We don't know if he actually
That was
died.
like-
Is
that
that what
was
you're
like-
saying?
It was when Kuroko was about to say his final words, right?
Oh,
Glen's like, did I read the right one?
Wait a
Kagami,
minute.
I've always stops there.
Stopped. Just he's gone.
And then Kagami goes on a quest to the underworld. Oops, spoilers.
Save him.
Dodd.
I'm sorry.
We ruined
Spoiler
forgot that we had to
finger.
say that
For a
part.
reason.
Spoiler
Sorry.
finger. Jeez, guys. You rotten bacon butt. But yeah, no, I don't know where to go.
I mean,
Okay,
the-
so who here? So Lou and Glenn, neither of you had read the manga before, right?
no, I just watched the anime.
Okay, and then Dodger, where did you stop in the manga? Was it after what we read?
I stopped after this match.
Okay, so
That we're about to
you
review.
read nothing.
So I'm really excited because the momentum's there, and I'm like, I should just keep reading, and that way I can catch up because it's so good. It's so pretty. I love it. But Sam's worried that if I read too far, then I'll be ahead of the anime, and then we won't be able to like squeal on the couch together. Really excited about stuff because I'll know what's gonna happen. Because right now we get to watch it, and I'm like, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Technically, I still squeal whenever it happens. Because I'm like, yay, it's finally getting animated!
Fair.
So for you guys who had not read the manga before, was there anything that, like, did you have any certain expectations for it? Were those expectations met? Or, like, was there anything? Because the anime is a very faithful adaptation.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. Is I was kind of like the anime, like it doesn't lessen the anime being good, but I was kind of disappointed because a lot of the frame choices were exactly the same as the manga.
Yeah.
And it was like when you're doing an anime, you can kind of be a bit more creative, but the manga doesn't make either of the mediums like worse than each other. But the one big disappointment I had was I didn't realize how much I'd missed the English.
The English parts?
Yes. I like while I was reading the manga, I was like, I'm just imagining their voices. I'm like, oh, I want to hear them say it. I want to hear them. I want to hear it.
But the thing about the manga is you can like suspend your disbelief, right? Because when you're watching the anime, you're like, everybody's talking about how well they speak English, and it's just, it hurts. But at least with the manga, you can be like, you can imagine that they're speaking perfect English and be really impressed along with everybody else.
See, I did the exact opposite, and I read those parts in English.
You read it as an English.
Yep.
You edited the panels yourself. That way, it'd just be like read like English.
Yeah, pretty much. But what I would say that really caught me off guard about this is that it's still Magic basketball, but it's a lot more. It feels more grounded than it does in the anime.
Yeah.
Like it feels a lot like a lot more feasible. Like it doesn't feel like as much of a leap.
Yeah.
As
it doesn't feel as fantastical.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's probably like the charm of Kuroko, though, is because there's like I play basketball, and when I'm watching Kuroko, I'm like, that's not possible. And I'm like, but it makes it unpredictable.
Yeah.
In a good way.
But I also like that no matter what winds up happening, they do take a moment to be like, okay, what the fuck? How is that possible? And like give you some sort of like weird, skewed response about how that could possibly work, and you're like, okay, you know, they like try to help you suspend your disbelief a little bit rather than just being like, I don't know, they're actually an angel.
Yeah. They actually sold their soul.
Yeah, they sold their soul to the basketball gods.
Soul when he was trying to save Kuroko from the depths of purgatory.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry,
and then,
I'm spoiling everywhere.
And then they time traveled, right? So he brought Kuroko back to life, but then the devil was like, but I don't want y'all to remember that any of this happened. So time traveled them backwards, and now they're super powered basketball players.
We rewrote the lore for Kuroko no Basuke.
It's basically Space Jam, except Kuroko.
With pretty boys.
I feel like we just turned into Tumblr. For
Yeah,
a second.
yeah.
I don't think we've ever not been.
That's true.
That's true. Something that is different with, especially the parts that we read in the manga compared to the anime, is there's a lot more slice of life stuff in the manga compared to the anime. They tend to cut that from the anime for time. So there was a few really fun little slice of life chapters that we got. And also with the manga, we got to see like the little bloopers at the end of every single chapter, which are like my favorite thing in the entire world. They're so cute. But yeah, what?
I was saying my favorite one of like those bloopers was when Kyoshi like gets, elbowed in the face. Like the blooper is like the guy misses and he hits his elbow on the ground and he's just like, oh, he's like, my elbow. And they're just like, I don't think I feel sorry for you.
my favorite was the recurring blooper joke with the vanishing drive.
Yeah.
I love that so much. Where he like does the vanishing drive but drops the ball and then like they reuse that joke again.
He just keeps losing it. It's like, really, at this timing in the like super important match
right now.
Or the one, I really like the one where Kyoshi goes to slap Kuroko on the back to congratulate him on a job well done. And in the blooper, he, like, avoids it. And Kyoshi's just like, why would you do that? And they're like, don't worry, he's just sick of being KO'd in the bloopers so often. So it's just these fun little, like, character asides that we get to see that are really enjoyable. But yeah, the slice of life stuff, like, there was the,
There's the dato.
The dates, which is,
yep.
Even though I don't ship them, it was still really cute. Because Almini and Kisei also got adorable little time together.
Yeah, that was the best. I was like, they're stalking together. Oh.
Yeah, adorable. My favorite was when there was a dude who was obviously like perving on Momoe, and Almina was like, get out of here. It's just like, don't bug them.
Get out.
That reminds me of the bit where Rico's dad pops up, like after the Hot Springs chapter, and he's just like, so, which he just pulls the generic dad, pulls out a gun, which one of you was peeping on my daughter?
Yeah. Literally pulls out a gun. It's so good. And in the blooper, he has like a bazooka, and they're like, no, that's too far.
Too far, you went too far.
Yeah, after the hot springs chapter, which was also so great. Something I just love about Kuroko no Basuke is like the characters make it so good, and the humor with it is also really good because the characters are so on point and can be so just their interactions with one another are so entertaining, like on the court, but then we also get these fun little moments off the court that just make us love them even more, like the cleaning up the locker room.
I love that so much.
God,
that was so good.
That was one of those chapters that I was just like so sad that they didn't animate it. I understood why, but it was just one of my favorite chapters of all time, so they didn't animate it. I was like, ah. But I'm so happy all of you guys got to read it. I want to know your thoughts on that one chapter.
That one chapter was amazing.
It's
Just the entire time I was laughing.
It was probably the most tense rock, paper, scissors match for one panel I've ever seen.
Oh my god, it's so good. I never thought we'd fight like this.
Oh yeah, that's when they find Junpei, the captain, like his old photo and his haircut.
Yes.
God, I love it so much. They're just like, who is this?
They're just like, I really can't tell who this is.
I love that through that entire flashback, it's just every person in his life being like, you look like a tool. Like, no one is nice about his hair at all. Like, man, it was so harsh.
They're just so mean to him.
Yeah.
I loved that flashback mainly because it gave some necessary appeal to the seniors, because like before that, I'm not gonna say they were particularly one-dimensional, but they were just there, more or less, just kind of for jokes and whatnot. And this actually gave some necessary backstory to them, and it was a really good decision, I thought.
Yeah. And it was really well placed too. It didn't feel like it was shoved in there just to extend time or like it interrupted something else. I felt like it flowed really well from the match where we first get introduced to Hanamiya, where we first see him, and then into their backstory, and then Kurosaki Daichi's match, which is in my top 5 favorite matches of all time. But yeah, I thought that it was a really well-placed flashback, and it didn't feel necessarily long either. It felt like we got all of the necessary points with personality and feels too.
Also gave you enough reason to hate that fucker.
Oh my god. Look, guys, he's just misunderstood.
He's just misunderstood. He's in love with Kiyoshi.
Yeah, he's just so in love, and he doesn't know how to express himself.
Such a dick.
He is.
You could also argue that the reason he attacks the other players is because he's like, get away from Kiyoshi. He's fine.
Get away from my lover.
I was like, God, he's such a dick. It's like, he gets me.
No one understands.
Dude, you know, one of the things, I know that we're on episode 3 of Kuroko no Basuke MangaPods, but can I just say, I love how many characters have just like full-on eyebrows. Like the eyebrow game in Kuroko no Basuke is so high.
And they like call each other out on their eyebrows too.
Oh yeah. There was
fucking Kagami's eyebrows.
Yeah. Like
tall-haired purple guy, Mikishima or something.
Murasaki Bara.
Yeah. Like early on in the chapters we read, he like pulled one of Kagami's eyebrows. Was like, "Why do you have double eyebrows, bro?"
And it's like so because like that's 74 chapters. It's like chapter 76 or something. And so up to that point, you're just like, "Oh, he has really strange eyebrows. I wonder if it's just like an anime thing." But it's like it's like Rin and his shark teeth. When they call out that Rin actually has shark teeth, you're just like, "What?"
You're like, "Oh,
Kagami actually has double brows."
In the world notice. Yeah.
Oh. But yeah, the eyebrow, and there's like such varied eyebrows too. Like you could, if they just had eyebrows listed on a piece of paper, you could pick out which character's eyebrows they were.
That's true.
They're so good.
True.
The most. Go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead.
Oh well, the most important character introduced, and I was so glad when I started reading the first chapter the other day. I was like, Doggy. Tetsuya number 2.
Yeah.
Number 2.
That is what secured. Like I was like Kagami and Kuroko are meant for each other when he started attacking him with the dog.
That chapter is so good. Handing him the water bottle with the dog in between. He's just like, stop.
Putting it on him like when Kagami's doing push-ups. He's like, leave me alone. And Kuroko gets so sad. He's like, please, he was abandoned once.
Yeah.
It's like they're soulmates. This is how you know.
That is their child. Do not judge them.
Do not judge them. But yeah, we got to go back to Hanamiya. Like I said before, that match is one. We had a lot of really good matches in what we read. We had quite a few of them, and that match is in my top 5 for numerous reasons. Like we have the history with Kiyoshi and the seniors, and then we have Hanamiya, who, as much as I loathe him and hate his guts, is such a well-written villain, and the first true villain that we see introduced into this series that you're not really expecting to see, because if you compare him to the Generation of Miracles, like Generation of Miracles are dicks, but they're not evil or mean. Like they're just arrogant dickheads who got that way because of stuff that happened in the past, whereas Hanamiya is just this straight up douchebag who's also really well written, so you just have to like acknowledge that, but at the same time you're like, I hate you so much.
Yeah, I love that up to this point we've had enough of these situations where we're like, God, this guy's a dick, and then in the end you're like, oh, but I kind of love him.
Yeah.
And with Hanamiya, he had like so many scenarios where he was like, oh gosh, I'm just so frustrated because blah 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 blah, and then he'd every single time be like, as if I would feel that way, I just hate you guys, blah.
And not in like a cute tsundere way, it was a legitimately dick face way.
Yeah, I think the reason, like, the Miracles were like, yeah, you're dicks, but the reason, like, at the end of the day, we're like, still love you, though, it's because, like, they actually have some personal motivations that they explain, and Hanamiya at this point really hasn't explained why he's such a fucking cunt.
Mm-hmm.
He's just sitting there being like, oh, man.
I'm gonna break.
Hey, guys. And then he just stabs one of them. It's just like, why? Hanamiya, why?
Why? Yeah, he's just like a huge jerk who just likes to see other people in pain. And so you just want... It's one of those matches where when they go against the Generation of Miracles, every time you're like, oh, I want them to win because they want Saren to win and be the best. But with this one, you're just like, I want them to take them down and crumble them up.
Just crush them.
Crush
but
them.
Oh yeah, because they make all the other characters like just mean as well. Yeah. Like all the other characters on his team.
Yeah, they're all mean too.
But it did mean that we got the really intense Kuroko face.
Oh my god,
like, so good.
Oh, which is amazing because like it just reiterates how when you first meet Kuroko, you're like, oh, he's just this stone-faced stoic dude, but then you like slowly unravel and realize that there's so much more to him. There's a lot more depth than just a boring, just whatever character. He's really interesting. He has a lot of different emotions and sides. He's just so in control of them most of the time. And then when there's those characters that you're like, you see get mad all the time, and you're like, oh, okay, they're mad again. And then there's characters where you see them get mad, and you're like, oh no, it's gonna be good.
But that's
also,
one thing I really like
yes.
about that's one thing I really like about Kuroko is that he's very subtle, and it's something that's it's not that I wouldn't say that it's has been built that way. It's been that way the entire time. It's just you grow to learn who he is. In other words, he has his established personality, and we, as people who get to know him, start to see those elements of that personality. Like, I'm sure if I was to go back and reread this, I would catch on to those quirks a lot sooner than I did the first time.
Yeah. And it's that way with I think Kuroko is definitely the most noticeable, but it's that way with a lot of the characters.
Ironically enough.
I know, ironically enough. That's true. But like, I think with a lot of the characters, we kind of get them at face value at first, and then as we get to see them interact with each other and also just learn more about them, we get to see more and more sides of them, but that make them people, which just makes them that much better, in my opinion. I love all the characters in this show so much.
They're adorable.
We also got we got to hang out with my anime boyfriend because we had our Shutoku match.
Yes,
so that was
we had a
fun.
rematch, which was a great match.
Yeah, that match is interesting because it's less there to be an intense basketball match and more there to establish like where the pegs are. Because in the end it's a draw, right? And we kind of see like we get to see Midorima actually working with the team, and you get to see that growth with him and see him like smile about teamwork, and you're like, Midorima. And then, and you also get to see them kind of like push each other in terms of, this is going to sound weird, push each other in terms of stamina with Midoriya's 3 shots and then Kagami's jumps, right? And like that gets established as a potential problem, right? And I feel like that's more what I take away from that match than like, wow, that was an amazing match. Because it's in comparison to some of the other matches, especially the Kirasaki Daichi match, it's not like an amazing match, but it establishes a lot of things that are important later.
Yeah,
so.
It's much more subdued, but it's still really important.
Yeah.
It's the first, is it the first rematch?
Yes.
With
Yes.
Midorima?
I think so.
Yeah, it's like the first rematch with a Generation of Miracles that we see. So
Yeah.
I loved that match too, because like Dodger said, it's Midorima actually, he changes, he grows, he learns to rely on his teammates and not just be a selfish, I'm better than you, so why should I rely on these people type of guy. I also love his like little quirk where he's like with like what is it called, the constellations, what like
the astrological stuff
and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Horoscopes and carrying around his little
that's
items
it.
and taping up his fingers.
He's so
Yeah, I
quirky.
really like Midorima. He's one of my favorite characters.
I love him.
I hated him at first, but I love him now. I grew to love him. I really did. Very quickly. At first, the first read through, I was like, but then I read like more and more, and I was like, oh, I do like you.
I fell in love with him at first sight. He's the type of
precious.
boy I love. I love the glasses. I'm a sucker for the glasses boys.
And he has like so many of those intense like glasses push-up moments too.
Totally.
I loved him in this match. Like, this is one of the matches that made me love him even more. Just seeing him interact with his teammates and also just hearing seeing him speak lines that showed how he had grown from the first time he was introduced. Such as, like, him saying that he had passed his limit a long time ago and also him just laughing.
Yeah.
Like, you could see that he was enjoying it. So it was just such a fun match to see him interacting with everyone too.
He's starting to play Kuroko's basketball.
Yeah, like what was it? He started to smile during the match or whatever.
Yeah, he did a little.
He was starting to enjoy basketball. He was starting to enjoy Kuriko's basketball.
We also in that match we finally got to see the first vanishing drive from Kuroko. Kuroko's dribble.
Oh, that's right.
Drive. Like, we got to see little teases of it before that, but then we got to see everybody. It was the first seeing. I love the way that it's drawn in the manga, in that he's literally just in, like, on one panel he's there, and then the next it's like the other side viewpoint, but it's usually full panels the first time he does it, or full pages, and it just looks so cool. It looks really neat.
Just in case anyone still ships like Kuriko and Moimoi, in one panel, like he that's when we first see the vanishing drive, is when he does it to his the pink-haired coach Moimoi. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, or I'm pretty sure that's her name.
Yeah.
She can't see him, but little did you know Kagami can see him, because Kagami only has eyes for him.
I like to think you were saving that for like the whole time.
I thought of it, and I was like,
It's like, there's going to be a point where I get to say this, and it's going to be great.
Oh, it was so good.
I just ruined all those OTPers. You shouldn't ship them anyway. You're awful. There's only one true OTP, and that's Kagami and Kuriko.
It's true. And and Kisei.
Oh yeah.
Midorima and Tako. Do you know Midorima and Tako are rated like #1 OTP in Japan? Like by a lot.
Seriously?
Yeah. There's an article on Anime News Network about.
That's amazing.
I would not expect that.
Yes, there's like so many. Most of the
rickshaw, man.
ships on there are from Kuroko and Basuke or just general sports manga and anime. It's so funny. Okay, and then let's see. So we had the Shitoku match, and then we had the Kirasaki Daichi match, and then we had
the Hot Springs.
Hot
with
Springs.
Toho.
Oh, I
it's
love
just
the Hot
such
Springs
a
chapter.
good
It's so good.
chapter. It's just
So much man ass.
so much man ass. I love that
And
Kagami is just like, I don't know what's wrong, and he's wearing his swim trunks. He's like, I don't know what you guys hate me for.
Oh my god, when he was brushing their back.
And Izuki,
blood
I feel
everywhere.
like this chapter is what established that Izuki's life is just suffering. As their point guard, it's just suffering, trying to deal with all of them. Like, he may be horrible at puns, but he has to deal with so much.
Yeah, when they're like, Izuki, use your eagle eye. And he's like, it doesn't work like that. And then Kuroko leaves, and they're like, oh, man, Kuroko's gone, and now who are we going to use to peep? And he's like, his ability doesn't work like that either.
And they call him, like, the Master Peeper, and Kiyoshi goes, he has such a nickname, and Izuki's just like, ah!
Yeah, then Rico just comes in and just beats the shit out of him.
I love that there are little quirks like that don't get super ham-fisted. Like Izuki with his puns, they bring it up often enough that you know him as the pun guy, but like it's not constant puns, right?
Yeah.
And then there's Teppei, and Teppei like is so dense, but they don't drive that home constantly. It's just you get those moments where you're like, oh, Teppei, you sweet precious baby.
Kyoshi's my favorite character.
Oh,
So
can we talk about
Kyoshi,
Kyoshi?
Kyoshi's good.
Can we talk
Kyoshi's
about
good.
Kyoshi? He's
my
so
favorite.
Those big old hands.
pretty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
Man.
Grabbing balls.
Manhand the captain, because that's another OTP that's correct.
Wait. I thought you said cup, and I was like, who's the cup?
Yeah, I was shipping Kyoshi with that one cup in the first chapter.
That one cup. That one
Kyoshi's
card.
cup and the captain.
Hey.
You can figure out where.
Hey. Kiyoshi is one of those characters when he was first introduced, I didn't think I was going to love him as much as I loved him, because it's the same thing where you're like, oh, he's the guy who's just gonna come in and be super great and just lead all of them, give them guidance, and you're like, oh, okay, he's another senior, but he just has so much personality, and it's just he's so great. I love him.
Such a tragic character.
Yeah,
I know.
To see that he's putting himself through all that just to have one more year of basketball with his friends. It's tragic, and it's really sad, but it's also very beautiful in what it means.
I personally feel for the guy because I'm 6'3", and I've always been taller than everyone. So when I played basketball, I always played the post he'd play, post or center. And there were people like, I always forget his name, purple-haired Yosin player. The other generation.
Just call him Murmur.
Yeah.
Murmur?
Yeah.
All right, that works. Murmur?
Murmur.
Yeah.
Murmur is just even taller than him, and he just gets wrecked. And that's how that's the life of a center. Is if someone's taller than you, you can't really do much about it unless you can jump the way Kagami does. But I don't think I'm doing that anytime soon.
Yeah.
Unless you are literally headbutt.
Oh my god. I love how he just headbutts them. And they're like, Kuroko's like, God dang it. And has to carry him off, drag him off the court.
Goes super dunk and just,
Yeah, then they acknowledge, like, is that even, like, what? He's like, is it even possible to headbutt the rim?
Oh man, that's another thing you're talking about, like not driving home. Like Kagami is obviously a character who is like more of a typical shonen protagonist than Kuroko is. But even as like he's grown and we've seen him, he's just become he's not like annoying or anything like that. And he has those moments where it'll pop up where he's just like, yeah, you're still really stupid. You're still a Bakagami. But you're also really cool at a lot of times too.
yeah.
Like when he almost punched the Kurosaki Daiichi player. And it was just like,
Oh, yeah.
no.
I love those moments when
I
we
love-
get this, when it's just like, it's Kagami, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
yeah.
was like,
He just needs Kuroko to come in and be like, would you fucking calm the fuck down?
literally beat him up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, what?
You're saying how Kagami, yeah, he's more of a, generic, not generic, but standard shonen protagonist.
Yeah.
Like, the beginning of the chapters was probably the introduction of the character that makes Kagami a bit more than that.
Mm-hmm.
His, like, childhood friend from America, what was his name?
Himuro.
Yeah, I think Himurun was, like, I guess we didn't really get to that part, but Himurun's just a really important character to Kagami's growth.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a bit later on, so I guess I can't really talk about that.
Yeah.
But
But he's here now.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's here.
The ring the ring had significance, which is
Yeah.
another thing. You're like, oh, they wear that for decoration, but his meant something.
Yeah.
Heartwarming.
So then we have the we started out at the Toho rematch. We got some of that with Almine. We started on that. But yeah. So I'm trying to think of what we haven't touched on yet. Does anybody have Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
What? You're probably I feel even though you brought me in to talk about OTPs, I feel like I've done it. I feel like I've done it a bit too much.
You can contribute in other ways if you would like.
I'm doing my best. In the hot springs thing, we kind of skipped over that when Riko and Momoe, touched boobs.
When
They did
boob
touch boobs. It's
And
true.
that is.
I like when
that-
Riko used her ability to actually measure Momoe.
This bitch is huge. It's just like,
And that is the most necessary OTP in Kuroko.
It's true.
Is those two.
They are so
'Cause
cute.
Without them, the boys would be like, maybe I should think about girls, but then no, because those two are already shit. So now they have no choice.
they're like, well, there's no one else to bang. So I guess.
Guess we'll go to each other. I was gonna say we did skip over something very important because it started the Winter Cup, which means all of Generation Miracles are at the Winter Cup, which
Yeah,
means
it
we
is.
finally got to see Unshadowed. Correct? I'm trying to
Yep.
remember. Yes,
Yeah.
we
Unshadowed
did.
face of the Generation Miracle captain Akashi.
Another
boys.
dick.
Another massive dick.
Another day, another day.
Another day,
I'm
another
at-
dick.
A massive cute dick though.
He's.
Because heterochromia.
I was gonna say when he's not looking all like. He's very
Like a
adorable.
super psycho.
It's just like. What were your guys' thoughts when Akashi was introduced? What are your thoughts?
Well,
Yeah, can we talk about his introduction? Let's talk about his introduction, shall we? Anybody?
have you ever met a person that's just like from the get-go you don't like them, but not because of a specific reason, being that they attacked you with scissors? Yeah, me neither.
Dude, I remember when that chapter first came out, and on Tumblr, it was just like a barf fest of people drawing him with scissors. And it was like,
It still happens.
Lord.
See,
It
I
like-
think that was just put in there because the mangaka really wanted Akashi to scissor with someone and needed to get
like,
it past the
hopefully,
editors. So
yeah, hopefully this will give them the hint.
there's
Kashi
subtlety.
X
Like-
the scissors.
That's like, don't search for that because you'll find actual fan art of that.
Oh, God.
It's actually
Oh, what was the other one? It was Aomine and
Almine
lobsters?
and crayfish.
crayfish. That's right.
It's
Just Aomine banging crayfish. That
Oh,
one
I
was a
don't-
good one too.
Where did that come from? Because I don't remember that at all.
because in there was like an interview where Fujimaki the mangaka he answered questions from fans about the characters, and one of them was like, what were their childhood hobbies? And Almine's was searching for crayfish
Oh my
and
God.
and something else. Yeah, crayfish and I can't remember, cicadas, I think, something like that. But cicadas, cicada.
Cicadas.
See,
Hakuna
Glenn,
cicadas.
you're right. You're right where you're meant to be.
Thank you. I feel like I'm among friends.
But I was gonna say about the Akashi scissors thing. So there was a in the last like fan volume thing that Fujimaki made for Kuroko, he did a bunch of interviews. And then he also did one where he inserted himself into the story and like had himself interacting with the characters. And he turns to Akashi and he's like, "Why is everybody drawing you with scissors? It was one time. I don't understand." Like it's so
He
bad.
didn't even bring the scissors.
Yeah, he's like, he didn't even bring them. I don't understand. It was amazing. And it was just like, because the fans went crazy. It's still a thing where they're like, Akashi and his scissors. It's like they weren't even his.
Do you
No.
think You think the mangaka like made a vow that day to never draw a pair of scissors again?
I think so. He was like, well, now I know what I can't draw next. But yeah, Akashi is one of those characters that was so... It was a very interesting experience when he was introduced to me, because I was like, he was so hyped up, and it's not that his intro like let me down by any means, but he was just a character that had been so hyped up that I was like, you haven't lived up to the hype yet for me. And so it took me a while to really even enjoy his character, but I did like how it established him in his intro as just being like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
And can I just say, I am jealous of the fact that he's able to cut his own hair so great without a mirror.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot. He did do that.
Yeah, he chops off his own hair.
He's preordained to be successful at everything, so.
Oh, that's true. He knew he would be fine.
He knew that his hair would look fine.
Something.
I trust you, Scissors.
I trust you.
OTP.
OTP. No! We just got over this! There has to be a fan art of Akashi just like snuggling against Scissors, and it just says, I trust you.
Hold on. I'm on it.
I trust you.
He just sleeps with it under his pillow.
I typed in Akashi Scissors, and then the rest of it was just like every generation of Miracles member. Oh my god, this is beautiful. Wait.
Oh no,
sorry.
Oh no.
I'm just gonna link you guys.
I
It's not.
won't look at it
This
yet,
just came up.
but I'm so excited.
I am fucking terrified. Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Something of in terms of plot in when he was introduced. I mean, there's a lot of plot that happened when he was introduced, but he mentions that when he looks at the rest of the generation of miracles, he mentions that nobody has forgotten their promise. So I didn't know. Did you guys recognize that? Do you guys know what the promise is yet? I can't remember if they've.
I'm trying to remember. I don't think I
They
know
haven't
it.
said it.
Do you guys have any bets?
I promise one day we'll all meet again and, bang.
As a captain should believe.
As a
I
more
think-
serious answer.
I'm fairly certain that the promise involved reach arounds. That's about it.
On a serious note, not a sexual note. I always kind of assumed that it had something to do with like if we ever come against each other on the court, like you'll let me win or I will win, sort of a thing. But at the same time, I'm like, but that wouldn't make any sense because Akashi is preordained to win, right? In his mind. So I'm like, I don't think that would be it. But we know that he's instructed the generation of miracles to like do things even though he's not their captain anymore, and people like Murasaki Bar are like, okay, because he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know.
I feel like I'm correct, but at the same time, I feel like it's just too like easy to say we will fight in the Winter Cup and we will go all out against each other. I feel like that'd be too generic of like
Same here.
But I can't think of anything else.
I mean, the only thing that comes to mind for me is you're gonna go all out, and I'm gonna put you in your place. Like that's that's what I would think.
His authority.
As someone that hasn't read ahead and is like an episode behind on the anime, because I can't watch it just one at a time.
Yeah,
because that's brutal.
Match by match. I'm not gonna say whether any of you are right or wrong. I was just curious.
I saw in your eyes when I said the first one. I was right.
You don't know that. You don't know.
You don't know.
Don't know, Glenn. Don't know. Should we talk about art?
Sure.
The art of it?
The art, yeah.
I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I don't read many Jump series, and most of the manga that I read are like more monthly, so the art tends to be a bit better. Because the Kuroko manga is still really good for weekly. He's a talented guy. It's just like every now and then I feel like there's a lack of more detailed backgrounds, but I guess that isn't really necessary when most of the setting is just a basketball court.
Yeah. The backgrounds do in the weekly releases, there aren't as many detailed, because I agree with you, the backgrounds tend to be not quite as detailed, but in the volumes, they are added, more detail is added to them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe if everyone just submits their kidneys to
Yes!
Viz, we can get a
Hashtag
license
kidneys
and
for
I can
Kuroko.
read it.
Yeah, hashtag kidneys for Kuroko. In terms of art, especially if you started, like, Lou, like you guys, if you read from the beginning up to where we are now, you notice a very drastic change in the art.
In the art, yeah.
It got significantly better around chapter, like, 70. Like, it started getting, like, a little bit better from whatever, but, this and leading into the Toho match is probably my favorite art from him, because it continues changing. Like, it still stays pretty consistent from where he is now. There's not as big of a growth from now to the end of the series as there was from the beginning of the series till now. But there is, like, some differences later on. And I think that what we saw in these matches is my favorite art from him. I just love the proportions. I love the direction and the panel use, the shading, the way that the characters look and their facial expressions. I just thought it's some of the best art, as well as the actual basketball movements. They just look a lot cleaner, and because of that, it increases the tension, and it's a lot more intense, because I can just visualize way better what's happening without thinking, this art looks kind of icky.
Yeah.
I
I didn't read from the beginning. I was like, oh, I've seen the anime. I've already seen this part, but I'll reread it just to refresh my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, when the actual basketball happens, he is really good at conveying movement through his art. So yeah, the basketball sequences are obviously the best art, and they're good. They're good, especially when Kuroko does his super passes. I can't remember the name.
The Ignite pass.
Yeah.
Ignite pass.
Ignite pass. Yeah. Kuroko's movements, especially compared to when the beginning of it, when we first see his passes, and compared to how much more detail there is, not just into him, but what's happening around him, is just a lot clearer and better now.
I really like the art, and I did get that experience of seeing it change in that exact same span of time. Like, as we got to this group of readings, it was really noticeable that although like more thought went into it, and like everything that has been building to this moment that we're finally getting to in the latter chapters of the reading. So I thought it looked really great. I liked it from the beginning. It's not as clean as it is now, but it definitely is from the start. I really liked it. That's probably my bias, being a huge fan of the anime, just bleeding over. But it was really good. I like it. Yeah. I said that several times because I really mean it.
It was really good.
Lou, I believe you.
I believe you.
I say it so much, so it must be true.
Please trust me.
I say it enough, maybe they'll believe me.
Trust me.
I was like I'm in a loop right now because I got OTPs all on my brain.
Just
so
too many OTPs.
my vocabulary is kind of limited at the
Too many
moment.
OTPs. All right, let's wrap up and. Oh, sorry.
What? Oh my god.
We were talking about OTPs, and I was like, at the same time you were talking about OTPs, at the same time my brain was trying to think if we had missed anything, and I jumped to Furihara and how he was introduced, or like how he was brought to go with Kuroko as Kuroko's like babysitter to meet the Generation of Miracles. And it just made me think about how that moment, and then like just how that also, not only did it do the Akashi X Scissors OTP, it also created the Akashi X Furihara OTP.
Yeah, that's true.
Which became, because of that OTP, Furihara was not like rated higher than Kyoshi in popularity polls by fans because of like all the fan art and fan fiction of him and Akashi. And that I just had to bring that up because I remembered that.
So funny.
So good.
He's such a
I swear this
character.
entire conversation has just given me so many things to Google afterwards.
Right? You need to join our fandom. Join our
Join us,
world.
Lou.
It enhances the experience.
It's
It
true.
does.
Let's wrap up. Unless anybody else has anything else they would like to touch on, let's wrap up and give our final thoughts and ratings, shall we? Anybody else have anything they want to talk about?
No, I'm gonna look at the MangaPod database because I don't remember what I rated it last time, and I'm curious.
Oh, I don't know. Let me know what I rated it last time too, even though it doesn't really matter, because I'm gonna give it a 9.5. Because this is, I'm not gonna say that Kuroko no Basuke is the best manga critically out there, but I think in terms of what I look for in a manga and what I enjoy and find entertainment in, Kuroko no Basuke is it. And these parts that we read, especially right here, what we read for this manga pod, plus everything that has added up to this point, just encompasses everything I love about this story. It has such endearing, quirky characters. It has amazing character relationships and chemistry. It has a really interesting set of antagonists, and I love everything about it. It's hard for me to really pick anything that I find negative about what we read up to this point. And the basketball is so fun and so intense, and it's just really exciting, and the art I thought is really good. And yeah, so 9.5, close to a 10. 9.5 to 10.
Erin, Erin, you gave it a 10 last time.
Really? Okay, 11. Oh, that's right, because we had the Almini.
I've infected you.
Yeah, you gave it a 10 last time. I gave it a 9.5.
Okay, then I'm giving it an 11.
Yokurama gave it a 9.9.
That point one, his OTPs didn't come to fruition. He's been holding it back.
That's a Yoku. That's such a Yoku rating. Okay, I'm giving it, you know what, a 12. Out of 1. So, you do that math.
I'll try to keep the scale going. Since I was at 9.5 last time, we'll go to a 9.7.
Ooh.
So there, number systems. Yeah, I love Kuroko. As a person who does not love all sports manga, but can really fall hard in love with the right one. Kuroko is special. It's wonderful. I just love it so much. The characters are very unique and they stick with you. And in that way, the story and the way that the story progresses and all of the matches that happen, you care about them so much more because you care so much about the characters. So that definitely does not dwindle at this point in the manga. three manga pods in. So if you haven't even started MangaPod, or if you haven't even started Kuroko no Basuke, and for some reason you're still here for MangaPod, listening about the third part, you should just start reading it, man. It's so good.
It's so good. Can I change my rating really quick?
Sure.
I'm going to do a 10 plus 11, because that's my OTP. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay. I have a huge attachment to sports anime, and this is clearly translating over to sports manga. My first anime ever was a sports anime. It was Captain Tsubasa.
Aww.
And yeah, so it's always been something that I've been attached to, and I got instantly attached to anime. And the same thing is happening with the manga, so it's just a wonderful experience. So yeah, in terms of putting it a numerical value, I want to see where it goes. I know a little bit further on it gets, in terms of what the anime did, I really enjoyed it more than the first season and first half of the second season. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading more. So for now, it's going to get a 9.999.
Perfect.
You guys have
because I had to one up Yoku.
Yeah, understandable. I get it, man.
You guys,
Learn.
I feel scared.
No, don't feel scared.
After your scores, I'm not sure anymore.
No. Listen,
But
be you. We don't judge here. We just love.
No, I'm gonna
Just remember the OTPs, man. Do
Uh,
not forget the OTPs.
Rate in OTP. Rate in OTP. From
Lou,
a
you've
scale
Lou,
of
you've inspired
Akashi
me.
scissors to Aokise, what do you rate Kuroko no Basuke?
I rate it in Almin X Kisei out of 9 Kisei. This is goddamn.
Yep, yep.
I rate it 9 Kiseis out of 10 Almins. Like, I consume a lot of anime and manga, and Kuroko definitely isn't up there. It's up there with some of my favorites when it comes to the sports genre, but it's definitely not special in its story. But I love the characters, as you obviously can tell, because this entire time I've just been shipping them. But it's a great manga, a great anime. You could go either way. It's a great adaptation from what I've read, and it's good. It's think of it like as what you like to do. Basketball is just another way of conveying that, and Kuroko understands that by combining the shared passion of tons of great characters.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Awesome. We all believe you should go and read this manga and watch this anime ASAP. It's so good. I love it so much. Awesome.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and read the description for the manga that we're reading next week. I'm not going to tell you the name because you have to guess it, chat. Oh, wow, this is long.
Try to paraphrase. Aaron, try to paraphrase.
To give a hint real quick. To give a hint, we are still in March Madness, where I didn't announce it at the beginning of the show, but March Madness is we're just doing a March Madness manga pod, so we're just doing sports for all of March, aka.
Yeah.
All right.
I like this idea. So.
I know, I love it. I've been waiting for this since we started with the manga pod. All right. Ko Kitamura is a 5th grader whose family runs a sporting goods store. One of the regular customers of his family store is the Tsukishima Batting Center, and so he gets to know the 4 daughters of the Tsukishima family. I won't say their names. Very well. Since Ko has spent so much time practicing in their batting cages, he has become a genius hitter, but has no knowledge of any other aspect of baseball. This is in contrast to Oba, who, despite being a year younger, is an adept pitcher and hitter. Wakaba is a classmate of Ko's, and she seems fully intent on marrying him when she grows up. All seems idyllic in their world until tragedy strikes. The story then... I'm going to stop there because it might be a spoiler.
Until tragedy strikes. Period.
Done.
If whoever guesses this gets all my love, because
hey, they got
I
it!
really... Already?
The grandpa!
Yes. The grandpa, you get all my love, because this is probably, it's in my top 5 for all-time favorite sports anime, so I'm like super hyped to read it.
Ooh.
So hyped.
Yes, it is Cross Game.
Mm-hmm.
We are reading Cross Game Next Ring Volumes 1 through 4, Chapters 1 through 30, with special guest Peppered Ham, who we know
Bill.
Oh, yeah,
as Bill.
Peppered Ham.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Peppered Ham.
Oh, yeah.
Prepare for
Favorite
huge.
manga of all time is Pokemon.
Poke-a-tits. Yeah, so that is what we are reading next week. Let's go ahead and shout out our stuff really quick and where all of you lovely viewers can find us. I am Erin of HappiLeeErin. You're here on my channel, youtube.com/HappiLeeErin. I do anime reviews, anime first impressions, as well as random tag videos. I recently did a unboxing video of Right Stuff blind boxes, which was basically porn, and that was excited. So that was great. So you should definitely check that out if something you're interested in. Plus, all of the previous manga pods are also hosted here. If you'd like to find me on any social media, it's HappiLeeErin all across the everything, and all of our links are in the description down below. So that's me.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dodger. I have 2 YouTube channels, youtube.com/pressstart-to-continue, where I do gaming and anime gaming stuff. I still don't know how to explain what I do. There's weird stuff there. Go watch my weird stuff. And then youtube.com/dexteritybonus is a vloggy channel. I put up a video that's part of the Dear Me project today, so if you want to go check that out. But Coffee Time is on hiatus right now, so there's that. And on all the social medias, I'm at DexBonus, DEXBONUS. So I've basically, if you go to my Hummingbird, it's only been one piece. So I'm really sorry about that. I've been getting so many messages by people being like, holy fuck, every time I come to Hummingbird, you've watched like 20 episodes of One Piece. Like, sorry. This is just my life right now. So
My life is One Piece.
my life is One Piece. I don't know how to stop.
This manga pod was actually meant to be an intervention for that.
Yeah, by the way. We need to talk.
No, I'm out of here.
Goodbye. No, the layout. You're going to mess up the layout. Sorry, Lou.
That's okay.
Yeah,
the intervention was important. Anyways, my name's Lou. I'm from Sitting by the Window Anime Reviews, and my humming board has not been updated in a long ass time. So I don't even know what the last thing I watched was. I do anime related content occasionally because I don't know, I'm slacking and I work a lot. So whatever, things go up, and usually I try not to half-ass them, though I usually do. But yeah, so that's my stuff. So youtube.com/SBTW Anime Reviews. And twitter.com/SBTW Anime Review. No S at the end. Links in the description.
Yeah. According to my hummingbird, the last thing I watched was 8 episodes of Kamigami no Asobi.
Yep, that sounds about right.
I was there for that.
Is that reverse harem show?
It's the reverse harem with gods, and it's actually quite good.
Oh, yeah, no, it was. No one watched it but me, so we can talk about it.
Yay!
Oh, yes.
I and one of our friends watched it for girls' night, but we didn't get to finish it, so we need to talk about it.
We didn't finish it. We stopped at a really inopportune time.
And the whole time we were just like
shit.
Anyway, Glenn.
I'm Glen, if you hadn't realized that by now, and I am on YouTube at youtube.com/GlenLovesAnime or something like that, and I talk about anime. Who would have thought? I also have a Twitters at Glen's the Man. Follow me there if you care at all for me talking about nothing.
Glenn,
and I have
Glenn's Twitter is like my favorite thing in the entire world. Everybody go and follow it.
It is wonderful.
I feel ashamed of my Twitter.
It's okay.
People tell me it's their favorite, and I'm like, why?
No. That's so good. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's fine. And I have a hummingbird where I'm simply Glen because I got lucky. All right, and that's it.
Awesome. And once again, all of our links are in the description down below, so you can click and find everybody down there, as well as links to our MangaPod subreddit, which is reddit.com/r/MangaPod. That's what it is. And you can find links to our schedule for everything that we are going to be reading coming up here, as well as the guests that will be joining us. And also in the description down below, one of our lovely viewers, Cupcake McFluffy, made us a Chrome extension, which is really awesome. So you can add that to your Chrome, and then you can see, like, just have our schedule and links to all of our stuff right there, which is awesome. So links in the description down below. Thank you all so much once again for joining us to watch us talk about Kuroko no Basuke, and all of our OCPs. We'll be here same time, same place next week. Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, reading Cross Game Volumes 1 through 4, Chapters 1 through 30, with special guest Pepperdham, a.k.a. Bill. Glenn, thank you so much for joining us. We loved having you. You were fantastic and the best, and you were great.
Thanks for having me. This was the perfect manga pod to start on.
Yes, you'll have to come back. You'll have to come back for sure.
Gladly.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And thank you so much to chat and all of our viewers, as well as YouTube commenters who will be watching this later. You're wonderful, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye!
Bye-bye!
Bye-bye. Kuroko touching balls is still best OTP.